Michael, we have a young man who wants to speak to you from the perspective of the youth of Biafra.
Thank you.
Hello, Michael. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, thank you so much.
That's good. So my name is King Chun, and my family have brought me out here today to understand about this fight for Biafra and this freedom. And my question is there any way or any advice that you can give to us to be able to, influence the other young students or young people who want to try and at least contribute or try and help out spreading the word and trying to get a lot of people to get involved with this freedom for our Biafra and everything?
Yes, my advice is always write, and write. But don't write simply for the Biafran community. You're writing for people who already agree with you. You want to write specifically for non-Biafrans. You want to write for people that disagree with you. You never want to look at someone as your enemy, but rather as someone who is wrong and needs to be convinced to be right. And if you push them into a corner, it's natural human nature that they're going to dig in their heels. But if they are if it's not a personalized discussion, but rather a discussion of facts, then they can save face when they switch sides and understand that freedom and liberty for Biafra matter. So write for university newspapers, write for school newspapers, write for local newspapers, and write for national news outlets. What I would always say, again, as a writer, and this is something that I've always scratched my head about. You can see I've scratched all my hair off. The fact of the matter is that people will say, not on the Biafra issue, but on other issues. I wrote a letter to the New York Times and they refused to publish it, so I'm emailing it around, and the letter is 2,000 words long. But New York Times letters are only 125 words. It's not that the New York Times disagreed with Biafra. It's that the letter didn't fit the format. So my advice as someone who's published more than 4,000 op-eds, articles, book chapters, and so forth, is you always look at the other letters, articles, and so forth that are published, and you copy the style. Precisely. No one is going to make an exception for you. So once you get the system, it's actually easy to get published. Editors need a lot of material. I would also say, and I say this, one of my jobs is as an editor. Editors can be very lazy people. If I have two pieces that come in, and one is already perfectly edited, it only takes me 5 minutes to go through, and the other one is a mess and takes me 2 hours to work on, I'm gonna go on the one that takes me 5 minutes. And so, it's important that the editor's job isn't to make it publishable, it's the writer's job. But you guys have the content, you guys have the facts on your side. Right. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get them to the public. And for that, I commend your energy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Michael, for your support. My question is, why do you think the West, who always clamor for human rights, prefer to partner with these repressive regimes in Africa at the expense of human life?
You know, it's a great question. And it's something that's frustrated me in other contexts. First of all, there's two types of it. Let me put it this way. When George Shultz was the United States Secretary of State under Ronald Reagan, whenever a new U.S. ambassador would be nominated to go to a different country, George Shultz always invited him into his office on the 7th floor of the State Department, and he had a big globe there. And he would tell the ambassador nominee, show me your country. And God forbid, if that ambassador pointed to Gabon, or Senegal, or Somalia, or Kenya, George Shultz would say, no, never forget that your country is the United States of America. The point of this is that some ambassadors believe that they are successful if they have good relations with the country to which they are sent. But that's not the job of the ambassador to be liked by the president, the prime minister, or the dictator. It's the job of the president to advocate for the United States national interests. And I would argue that United States national interests are at their strongest when they are backed by liberty and moral clarity. So, rather than have an ambassador who simply wants to have good personal relations with an undemocratic leader, and therefore endorses undemocratic things or ignores real problems, it's essential that we stand with moral clarity, even if it makes for an uncomfortable meeting. This is why personally, and I wrote about it at the time, I was so disappointed when Secretary of State Antony Blinken, a man who based his legitimacy at his Senate confirmation on the fact that his father-in-law was a Holocaust survivor, when he ignored and took, when he sat with Muhammadu Buhari, and when he took Nigeria off the religious freedom watch list. You know, politicians and diplomats don't like to be criticized. And when you see such hypocrisy, if you write about it, and I'm going to the previous question now, that is something which they will notice. They may not want to admit that they are making a mistake, but they will read the criticism and hopefully not make the same mistake twice. So part of the problem is the culture of the American State Department and frankly, the British Foreign Office and so forth. But part of the problem is that the Biafrans need their voice to be amplified far beyond the borders of Biafra and far beyond the confines of the communities in the diaspora.
Includes. I thought
Last question.
only the screen, I thought you said I should put it on the screen because if it's on the screen, they should come out.
Thank you, Michael.
Should surely come out. Okay.
If I can
raise it up.
I have
Okay.
two questions for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you please promise the Biafran people
Okay.
that you will keep exposing the Nigerian government and keep exposing the atrocity, and you do the best you can to
The
write
woman will
up
always come out.
whatever you can to speed up the release of our leader, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, which I call my boss. I came across one of your tweets. That was really good. We appreciate you. Please promise the Biafran people that you will keep helping us in fighting our cause. We look up to you and we believe that you know what we are fighting for. And we really appreciate you. And can Biafran people hear from you? If we can, we'll hold you accountable with your word that you will always be with us.
Yes. The short answer is yes. The longer answer is the American Enterprise Institute is a nonprofit. I am given the authority to write about whatever I want. There is no pay to play. I am not a lobbyist. I accept no money for my writing. I write based on the principle of what I see, with an effort driven only by me to pursue and to try to change American policy to what I believe would be more just. And therefore, when it comes to me, you don't need to worry about any contract running out or anything like that. That's not why I'm involved. And again, I will never accept any money from Nigerians. I will never accept any money from a Biafran. I will never accept any money from a lobbyist. I'm doing this because it's right, and therefore I will continue to do it. It's a publisher-first world for an academic.
Thank you very much. One more, again, Congressman Jim Mora, which I know you know, and he's our lobby. And we actually have an alliance here with us as well. Can you as well promise Biafra that you will work closely, I know, with your, what you're doing, and Congressman Mora and alliance, they'll be doing a good job, that you work closely with them as well to bring justice for Biafran people. Thank you.
If I may just say, I've testified in Congress before Jim Moran, when he was in Congress. And the congressman and I disagree on everything. It wasn't a pleasant hearing for me, and it may not have been a pleasant hearing for him.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes principle unites. And whatever disagreements we may have on other issues, they don't extend to Biafra. Wherever you find them, on any side of the aisle, Biafra
Thank you, Ma.
should not be a partisan cause in the United States. It should be a cause of principle, and therefore I know that we will continue to work towards a common goal when it comes to justice and freedom and liberty for Biafra. I commend you on that you can do it, because partisanship doesn't come into play.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Mr. Robin, thank you very much for your commitment in putting the truth out there to the public. On behalf of the Prime Minister, as the government representative in Europe, and I also live in Finland here, in your own words, what would you tell the Finnish authorities right now in regards to the allegations of incitement by our Honorable Prime Minister?
You know, Finland's got to be on the right side of history. Finland especially should live up to its status, its claim as being the freest country on earth. That's what Freedom House ranked it as, and right now they're endangering their status. I should note that this isn't just a Nigeria-Finland issue. When there was an argument, when there was an effort for Finland and Sweden to join NATO, Turkey tried to blackmail both, but mostly Sweden, in order to betray Kurds, and Kurdish dissidents and Kurdish free speech in Sweden, in order to get Recep Tayyip Erdogan to drop his objection to Sweden's accession to NATO. And in the end, Sweden betrayed its principles. And Recep Tayyip Erdogan, while he allowed Sweden and NATO, gratuitously humiliated Sweden. Finland should not allow itself to be gratuitously humiliated by a country that violates religious freedom, by a country that violates democracy, by a country that doesn't. Finland must do better, and they must recognize that they should not be an arm of transnational repression.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert.
Okay.
This concludes our session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So wonderful Biafrans, we're about to go to lunch. Yeah, later we continue.
We say,
We're
wow.
going to lunch. Yeah, everything is said.
We say,
Thank you.
wow.
Thank you. Wow.
Did you just listen to Mr. Robin? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. We thank Mr. Robin again.
Yeah.
This gives us courage that they know. They actually know the truth. We only have to push and do the right thing. Do it right, and they will hear. We'll bring that wall down. So now it's time for lunch. The door is opening. Please, for those of us that have not received our tithes, rather than
Everybody now is about to go to lunch, so later we continue. God bless you all. It's good you see what is happening here for our freedom. Be connected. Love you all. This is NNEOMA reporting. NNEOMA at OLUOMATV reporting. Thank you. Thank you. And also with our Biafra media team. Thank you all. We go to lunch and later we continue. God bless you all. Biafra is here. Now we move. Biafra is here. In Jesus' name. Thank you all. Later.